हेलो। हाँ बेटा, S13 से कर लो, S13 फ्री है। कैसे ये तुम्हारे पास है नंबर? अच्छा ठीक है, ठीक है। Hello, good morning to all. Actually, sorry for coming late here. Actually, I was not able to join it. So, can you please contact, give me your phone number, your GR. Please message me on in the chat box, your number.
Man, this lecture is for CO 8 to 14, na?
CO 8 to 14, yes.
Actually, the link has changed now. It was TIT SOM 2 earlier.
Yeah, it is not working actually. But this is a temporary account. So that's why I'm saying that I will inform to your GR that which that link will work in the next class.
Yes, ma'am. CR is Srishti.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, Shishti,
Ma'am,
please message me your number.
yes, ma'am, I'll drop it in the chat box.
Yeah, sure. Then I will inform you about the link. Okay, So I'm Meenu. Will teach you numerical analysis course. Its code is UMA 011. So I'm sharing the screen here. So this is our first lecture, and today we will discuss about the syllabus of this course also. So this is your course syllabus. Actually, earlier this course code was UMA 007. So it is a syllabus of UMA 007, but there is a little bit change in both the syllabus. So earlier there was tutorial contents also, but now it has been removed. So earlier it was 4.5 credit course. Now it is 4 credit course only. Course is UMA 011, numerical analysis. So now it is 302, means no tutorial, 3 lecture per week and 2 hours lab. So this is your, these are your contents of this course. That first topic is floating point numbers. This we considered as a first chapter, then second chapter, then third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So there are 6 chapter total and lab work also. In the first we will start with the first chapter only. And the first chapter we will start with floating point representation, rounding, chopping, error analysis, conditioning and stability. So this is your first chapter. Okay, so let us start this. And for the books, I will refer these two books. I will personally refer, that Burden and Ferris. The authors are Burden and Ferris, and title is Numerical Analysis. And for the first chapter, especially, I will refer this book, Atkinson and Hahn, and the title is Elementary Numerical Analysis. And for the application part, you can refer these 2 books also, or you can refer other books also, in which you that is up to you, in which you get easy topics. Okay. So next is we will discuss about the numerical analysis. Actually, in the numerical analysis, we will study the numerical techniques here. So suppose you have a any mathematical problem. Suppose you have x square minus 9 is equal to 0. So to solve this problem, it means you have to find the x from it. So you have to find the root of this equation. So it means x is equal to plus minus 3. So what I have used here, if it is lengthy process, if it is any general quadratic equation, then you have to use this formula, minus b. All of you know about this formula, b square minus 4ac by 2a. So by using this formula, you can find the roots of the quadratic equations, any quadratic equation. And now what happen if it is a cubic equation? What happen if it is a 4-degree equation? If it is a 3rd-degree equation, then you first find the one root by hit and trial. Then you divide the equation with that linear factor. Then you will get the quadratic equation. Then again, you will apply this formula, minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac by 2a. So this is the process. But there is no any rule, no any formula for the higher degree to find the higher degree equations roots. It means suppose you have 100th degree. Suppose you have 100 degree. So how to find the root of this type of equation? So it is means 98 times you have to find use the hit and trial. And once you get the quadratic equation, then you will find out the roots by this formula. So that is a process. And if suppose you have transcendental equation, please don't make noise. Suppose you have transcendental equation. Suppose sin x minus e raised to power x is equal to 0. So it is not easy to find the roots of these type of equation. So to find the roots of higher degree polynomials, high degree zeros of the higher degree polynomials, or transcendental equations which involves trigonometric function, exponential function, logarithmic functions. So you cannot use the analytic methods to find the solution of these type of equations. So in these type of problem, to solve these type of problems, we will use the numerical techniques. So that is a benefit of the numerical analysis. We will use the numerical techniques here. So that is a benefit of the numerical analysis. But there is a disadvantage also. This is the advantage, that you can find the roots for these type of problems. But what is the disadvantage? You will get the approximate root here, not exact root. Means suppose any x value will satisfy this equation. Suppose x is equal to 3, satisfy this equation. If it is analytic, if I use analytic method here, I will get 3 here. By analytic method, you will get the exact root. But by using the numerical techniques, you will get near about to 3. Means you can get 2.9. But at least you will get the root here. So this is the advantage, as well as disadvantage also. You will get the approximate root, but that is also acceptable. If there is a method which is difficult to apply, or if there is any problem which is insolvable, so that we will be happy to get at least near about to that number, that you are getting something for the solution of that type of a problems. So this is the major advantage of the numerical analysis. So now here we will get the approximations. So approximations, it means we will get some error, because if you are getting an exact value, and if you by the numerical techniques you are getting the approximate value, so it means there will be some error in between the exact value, exact root, or approximate root. So in this first chapter we will analysis these type of errors. So it is called error analysis also. So first of all, we will discuss some basic definitions related with the error analysis. So first we have floating point representation of numbers. So how to represent a numbers in computer. So suppose first we discuss about the numbers. You already know about the real numbers, natural numbers, whole numbers, irrational numbers, rational numbers, integers, you all know. But here I'm taking real number only. So number that represents on the real line. Suppose I'm taking a real line. Here I represent 0, 1, 2, 3 up to infinity, and there is a negative side also. So at the number 0, 1 means in between these numbers, in between 0 and 1, there are also a real numbers, means 0.5, 0.4, 0.0005. All are rational, all real numbers here. Okay, so let us take a real number. Let x be any real number. Any real number. So real number, if I take one example, suppose I'm taking 2 by 3. 2 by 3 is 0.66666. So it is infinite in numbers. So similarly, I can write 1 by 2 also, 0.5. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So it means what I want to say, that every real number can be represented as an infinite sequence of the digits. So if I'm taking any real number, then it can be represented as an infinite sequence of the digits. Of the digits. So these are just examples, but I have to take in general. So I'm taking the x as a general number. It is like 0.a1, a2, a3, a4, an plus 1, and so on up to. So any number can be represented in this way. So here, if I write 2 by 3, if I take 2 by 3 as a x, then it can be written as a 0.666. So here a1, a2 all are 666, and here a1 is 5 and a2, a3 all are 0, 0, 0. So any number can be written as in this way. Okay. So so suppose if I'm using n-bit computer. So now if I enter this real number into the computer, n-bit computer, so how many digits it will take? So obviously it will not take infinite sequence of the digits. Our exact number is infinite sequence of the digits, but if you enter into an n-bit computer or any calculator, even if you put, then it will take only finite sequence of the digits. That will gives you the approximate value of that number. So if I'm taking n-bit computer, then it will take, there is a range here. I think you all of know here that if I use n-bit computer, then it will take, if I take negative, then it will take 2 raised to power n minus 1. And if it is positive, then it will take 2n minus 1. So this is the range, means these numbers, this is how many digits you will take in the n-bit computer. Okay, so if I use 32, nowadays 32 and 64-bit computer I used. So if I use 32-bit computer, then it will be minus 2 raised to power 31 and 2 raised to power 31 minus 1. It is used. So if there are infinite numbers, the sequence of the digits, then you will take only up to this number of the digits. So that will give you the approximation. Obviously that will give you the approximation, not a exact number, because exact number is in infinite sequence of the digits. So now if I use this as an exact number, means suppose it is a exact, this is exact number. So now after entering this number into the computer, you will get the approximation. So here I will write this FL of x, means floating point representation I'm writing here. So that will gives you the finite sequence of the digits. Suppose it is up to n, a2 up to an, So this much you will get. Okay, that will be depending on the computer, that how much digit it will take. Okay, so now if I write a number x, again I'm taking exact number here. So I'm writing the number in a general form. This is the infinite sequence of the digit. So I'm writing this to the base 10 into 10 raised to power e. Every number can be written as in this way. So this is called mantissa. Sorry, this is called mantissa. And this is the base. Yes. This is floating point representation of exact number x, because if I input this number into the calculator, into the computer, then it will give you the finite sequence of the digits. No? Suppose you write 1 by 3 into the calculator, computer नहीं ले रही, calculator ले रही हूँ small, then I think it will take 10 or 11 digits. 1 by 3 तो कभी खत्म नहीं होगा ना. 1 by 3 is 0.3333. Exact number is infinite number. 0.333 कभी end नहीं होगा. But if you write this number into the calculator, so it will take I think 10 or 11 digits ही लेता है वो. So that is our approximation. So that is FL of x, means floating point representation of any number. So this is called base and E is exponent. So every number can be represented with this form. So now if I write FL of x, means this is our exact number, this is infinite sequence. But now if I write in the finite sequence, again I can write in this form, to the base 10 into 10 raised to power e. So I will give you one example then how to write to the base 10 here. So suppose, for example, if I take 42.965, okay, so this is the number. Now how to write the number in this form? So let us write it 4 into 10 raised to power 1, 2 into 10 raised to power 0, because here you can see after 4 there is one digit, so I'm taking 10 raised per 1. Then after 2 there is no digit before decimal, so 10 raised per 0. So 9 is after decimal, so 9 into 10 raised to power minus 1, 6 into 10 raised to power minus 2, plus 5 into 10 raised to power minus 3. Yes. So I want to write 0 point something. So 0 point something, it means if I write 10 by, if I write 4 by 10, then I will get. So if I take 10 square outside, then I will get 4 by 10, 2 by 10, sorry, 2, it will be 4 by 10, 2 by 10 square, 9 by 10 cube, 6 by 10 4, plus 5 by 10 raised to power 5. So here you can see I can write now 0.42965 to the base 10 into 10 raised to power e. So here this is mantissa, it is base 10, 2 is exponent. So there are another base also, but in your syllabus we will use only 10 base. There are general base also, E base. Some books write E base also, that is general base. But in your syllabus we will use this 10 base only. Okay, so let us take one another example with the negative number. If I take minus 0.00234. So with the negative sign, I can write 2 into 10 raised to power. No need to write for 0. So after decimal, it is third place. So it is minus 3. 3 into 10 raised to power minus, sorry, 4. Plus 4 into 10 raised to power minus 5. So it is, I want to write 2 by 10. So 10 raised to power minus 2 common with the negative sign. It will be 0.234. So this is mantissa with minus 2 exponent. Exponent can be negative also. So this is exponent. So but now you can see if I write this number in this way 0.0234, then it will be 10 raised to power minus 1. Or I can write with this number also with this way 0.00234 into 10 raised to power 0. So there is no unique representation for this number. Means I can write any number with this way, with this way, with this way, in which exponent will change. Here exponent is 0, here exponent is minus 1, here exponent is minus 2. Because there is no restriction on A1, A2 here. Because A1 is 0, A2 is 0, A3 is 3 here. And here A1 is 0, A2 is 2, A3 is 3. And but here A1 is 2, A3 is 3, A2 is 3, A3 is 4. So there is no restriction on A1, A2 here. So that's why there is no unique representation. So to give this number a unique representation, to avoid this confusion, that we will use a one term, that is a normal form, to write a unique representation of a number. So in the normal form, a non-zero floating point number is in the normal form if the value of the mantissa lies in minus, if it is negative, then it will lie in -1 to 0.1, or if it is positive, then it will lie in between 0.1 to 1. So it means if I'm taking 0.A1, A2, A3, AN to the base 10 into 10 raised to power E, then our AIs for 2 to 9, sorry, 2 to N, it will be 0 to 9. But there is a restriction on A1 here. A1 should be greater than equal to 1. It should not be 0. So to give this number a unique representation, I will write a condition on A1 here. A1 should be greater than equal to 1 here. But other numbers can be written as a 0 to 9. Any number you can write. So this is the unique representation for mantissa. So now this is a restriction on mantissa, but there are restriction on exponent also, that there are small m and capital M such that our exponent will lie in between minus m less than equal to E less than equal to M. So this is range of exponent. Actually, it depends on the computer, that if you are using n-bit computer, then its range will be minus 2 raised to power n minus 1. If it is capital M, if it, n-bit computer, it will be 2 raised to power n minus 1 minus 1. So that is a exponent range. So obviously, if your number is too large that it will not fit to the computer, that it is greater than M, then it is the condition of overflow. So that another term is overflow and underflow only. That from the name you can see, if suppose I'm taking 8 by 3. So it is 2.66666. It is infinite in numbers. So if you're using in calculator, it will take only 10 or 11 digits. But if you are entering a number with suppose 50 digits, so for that calculator, it will be an overflow situation. And underflow also, if it is a negative number. So if I write the proper definition, and overflow is obtained when a number is too large to fit into the floating point. Floating point system in use. So that is, suppose E is greater than M. So if our exponent is greater than M, that is our situation of overflow. So similarly, underflow will be is obtained when a number is too small to fit into the system. So it means that exponent will be less than minus M. So suppose your number is 0.00000. It is very small to fit into the floating in the calculator. So it is 2. So if it is taking 10 digits only, then it will take 0 only. It will not consider 2. So that is a underflow situation. So I think time is over. So if you have any doubt, you can ask.
Ma'am, can you go back to previous slide?
Yes.
Ma'am, can you tell the normal form of the example that you took?
Yes, you can write this as a normal form. This is the
Yes.
normal form. Actually, this is a general number. This is not in the normal form now, because A1 is 0 here. A1 should not be 0, na? So now it is in normal. This is not a
Okay.
normal form. This is not a normal form. And if you do also, this is a normal form. Means you have to write A1 as a means 0 point लिखना है, and next number should be greater than equal to 1. This is a condition. Okay, Srishti, I will inform you, okay, that in which link we will meet.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.